Hey guys, how you going?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Good.
Long time no see.
Yeah, I know. Time goes so fast, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
So you're both from Lumina Films.
Yeah.
Uh, Tell us a bit about how you got tell us a bit about yourselves and how you got started in filmmaking.
Yeah.
The pressure's on.
Yeah, we go way back. So I guess I'll just start.
You can start and we can switch. Yeah.
So essentially, I'm a mechanic by trade. So I left school at the end of term 1, year 11, and did my mechanic apprenticeship. I had no interest in cars, but just wanted to acquire a skill set. And I'm very grateful I did it because it gave me a really good problem solving mindset. And as I was sort of getting to the end of my apprenticeship, and once I'd qualified, I was thinking a lot about what I wanted to do, and I wasn't really sure.
This was in COVID as well.
This was during COVID, yes. And then Kyle actually came to me one night during COVID and was just like, hey, man, we've been friends now we met in 2014 at Macca's. Yeah. He's like, we've been friends for ages. I feel like we need to do something together. And straight away, as soon as he said that, I was like, dude, I'm so in.
Yeah, it was kind of like a crossroads path for both of us, I think. I was at that point an economics student, just working, and then was studying, but I really enjoyed economics, but I knew that the path career-wise that I would be going down isn't something that I'd want to do for the rest of my life. And it's kind of was like a blessing out of COVID. It kind of showed me that, which was cool. But yeah, one day, I probably sat on it for like 2 months. Like, I'm just going to ask this guy, see if he wants to do something with me. And what's crazy is we didn't know what that was going to be. Yeah. It was just, we have a really good friendship, and we know that we can achieve a lot together, and we have in the past. So let's just try and explore something and see what happens. And that was a bunch of things before it became Lumina. So it was about 2 to 3 years, I think, 2 to 3 years before we actually started our company that we have now. But at the start, it was, funnily enough, a podcast. We had a podcast. Yeah. We started with that, and it was, I don't know how many episodes we got to.
We did I think 60 something.
So you're speaking with some veterans here.
Yeah.
We know the game.
Yeah. But yeah, it was kind of that night that he came to me. We had we made a list of our strengths and our weaknesses, individually and collectively. And we were like, right, what are we going to do? What's the thing that we're doing? And we are just both such curious people. We love conversation. We love talking to humans. And we were like, why don't we just start a podcast? Let's just do that and see where it takes us. We had no resistance to it. And I think because all we knew, the constant for us was the connection, the friendship. So the world was our oyster, kind of. So it was just pick something and go for it. And we did that for about 18 months.
This is while working part-time jobs. We pretty much I was put uni on hold at this point, and then started working part-time jobs. Same for you.
Yeah, I'd left my mechanic job and started working at Bunnings a few days a week. And through that, that's, we got laptops. We started learning how to video edit, making shorts, little basic graphics and stuff. Just to edit the pods. And then, about 18 months in, I remember starting to feel this confliction with sort of short form content. I guess qualm with maybe Instagram, you don't choose what you watch, it's just the next thing is shoved in your face. And whilst the intention of a clip might be good, the clips we were putting up, it's I hope this message resonates with someone. But intention versus reality is always very different. So how it's being consumed, is, someone's watching 200 reels when they're scrolling on Instagram, and by the time they jump off, they don't even remember what message was in the one that you made. Yeah. So I think that was sort of where it started. And I remember taking that to Kyle, hey, man, I don't know how I feel about putting all these short reels out. And then we were both kind of that does make a lot of sense.
I think we're both in the same. It was just something that we were a direction we were heading down, but didn't really realize until Josh kind of brought it up.
Yeah, and then we were I feel like with long form content, you give people a choice. On YouTube, you're giving someone a choice to watch your video or not. It's 30 minutes, 20 minutes. They have to choose to click on it to watch it.
Yeah.
So we were just let's start making some longer videos. And there's a YouTube channel called Yes Theory, who I believe, like some of the best storytellers in the world. They travel the world and sort of explore this concept of where does saying yes take you.
And that's evolved for them over time. But we actually did a course that some of the main guys from Yes Theory ran and were a part of, and that just unlocked the way we thought about what we were doing. And we're like, okay, well, there's this storytelling thing. Seemingly, it's this film is the right medium to do this sort of storytelling that we want to do. So Josh came to me and was like, let's just tell 6 stories in 6 months. Like, let's just put a time limit on it and just go out and do it. So that was kind of like our filmmaking crash course. It was just over the back end of 2023, we told 6 stories in 6 months. Probably the craziest one we did was, they're all on YouTube now still. We called it like Josh and Kyle Living, because we wanted to promote like living, not just existing. And the biggest one we probably did was we went from Bondi Beach to Byron Bay, purely off the kindness of strangers. So we couldn't pay a cent for anything. No fuel, no food, no transport, nothing.
Accommodation.
So we just captured the idea of, strangers. It's like we all get taught stranger danger, and of course that's a thing, but also like what a stranger can do for you. Like the experience we had that's the best experience I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
So that was like, okay, this is what we need to be doing. But then it was like, okay, well, how do we, make it sustainable and make it a part of our lifestyle? So we created Lumina, and that was in the start of 2024.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool. And like, I mean, you've obviously, made the Dead Cow Gully thing that's yet to be released, I understand. But do you guys both run as well?
Casually. I've run a couple of, like, the furthest I've run is like a marathon. And like, 20 to 30K weeks on the road. So casual running.
Yeah.
But nothing like this stuff. Yeah. And then, you could run if you wanted to. But
I'm just like super, super casual for me.
Yeah. And what was it about running that got you interested in making a film about running?
So question. Honestly, the way we got into it was when we started the business, we're obviously looking for work. And you just, anyone can kind of relate to starting a business. You just spend so much time outreaching and trying to find work. Like your days become sending emails and cold calling people. And I was on Instagram and I saw a sponsored ad for 180 Cadence, which is a running events-based company running company based in Sydney. Sorry. And I went on their page and their stuff looked cool, but I could tell they were like super recent. So I just sent them a DM and I'm like, hey, we're doing this. We'd love to potentially work with you. And then Alex, one of the co-owners, got back to us and jumped on a call, and we shot at one of their events, the Sydney Ultramarathon 50K. That was the first event we did for them. And then we have since then just formed an amazing relationship with Alex and Dave and 180 Cadence, and have just been shooting at their events and then shot at their backyard ultra.
Which we actually which we're editing right now. So we have another piece that's in the works with a good friend of yours, James Blanton.
Oh, yeah, cool.
The main headpiece of that, which we're so excited to put together, because it's sort of been on the back burner a little bit, but we love James. Shout out to Jimmy.
Yeah. But essentially it was just trying to find work. We found ourselves in the running space, and I think we both respect and love athletic pursuits. And especially when you're introduced to the concept of the backyard ultra and just what it takes to push yourself to, the race with no finish line. It is unlike anything I've ever seen. And I'm sure we'll get onto it, but seeing how far Sam Harvey pushed himself up at Dead Cow was
insane.
I've never seen
it. Just the event that the idea of running is so simple. And it's something we've done forever. It's not a sport we've created. It's kind of like we were born with it. So that's super interesting. And I think a backyard in particular really speaks to the human spirit. I think that it's not particularly the running, it's what the running does and the medium it is for connection. Like, what it is at these events. There's crew that are there for 5 days straight and they just live a whole different life. Yeah. It just reaches into the depths of your human spirit just to push someone one more, go another yard. Just go a little bit more, rather than a point-to-point race, which obviously does that too. But the backyard it brings the best out of people. So I think we were really drawn to that. So
yeah, cool. And that's when you first heard about Backyard. So just recently through 180 Cadence, is it?
Yeah, it was last year.
October
was the first one that we saw.
Yeah,
awesome.
And was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was a pretty epic race as well, wasn't it? In October, was that the one that Ross McLean won?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Ross and I think Melissa, I believe, went the furthest for the women's.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So how did the Dead Cow Gully gig come about?
So essentially, filming with James at Sydney, and we really connected with his crew, like Glenn, Simon, Kitty, Jimmy, and Shannon, obviously, who helped crew Ryan as well.
Ryan too.
And we had so much time with him, and they were telling us about Dead Cow and how epic it is, and it's on this farm in the middle of Queensland. And we were sold. You can see behind us there's like a calendar on the wall,
right?
And we have this thing where we'll write something on the calendar, and then it happens. So I
know that sounds crazy, but it's 100%.
It's 100% true. So we wrote Dead Cow because after Sydney we were like, this is cool, let's try to get to Dead Cow. So we wrote the date of Dead Cow on there, and then it was like, okay, how do we practically go about getting ourselves there? And for me, logically, the first step is like, well, would we even be able to film there? Would the race director let us? So I reached out to Timothy Walsh, obviously, who's the race director, and then we jumped on a call and chatted and connected, and he was a really cool guy and super helpful. And he was like, look, man, like I have an awesome doc already made. So in terms of like me funding it, I'm not that interested. However, if you can, get funding, that would be cool. And yeah, you could film here. I'd give you the house, quad bike, all the accessibility you need. And he was actually the one that said, I reckon you should try to connect with Harvey Lewis, because he has some pretty solid sponsors and they might get behind something like this. So he actually put us in contact with Harvey because he has a great relationship with him. And then we jumped on a call with Harvey and just connected so well with Harvey. He's such a youthful spirit, such an amazing guy, and just lives this crazy life. Like he's very, very adventurous and very curious like us, I would say.
And we knew as soon as we talked to Harvey, we're like, we've got to film with this guy. We speak his language. And we pretty much, from there just went back and forth with it's cool because once you connect with someone like the athlete, it's really nice in terms of being able to communicate with the sponsor, because the sponsor believes in you because the athlete does. So it was pretty much just that little triangle of the sponsor, Harvey, and ourselves. And we just created a vision for a story where it's mindset over miles, because that is so much of what Harvey does. It's his attitude towards things. And what's awesome is it's all well and good to have attitude, but when you're showcasing it on a scale this big, like when it's a film, you have to have someone who can go the distance. But that's what's so incredible about Harvey. He is like one of the elites, and he still has this attitude of like trying to have fun and pull people along as well. This sense of community. It's just so admirable. He's a master of what he does, and we really wanted to tell that story. So that's kind of how it came about. And then we locked everything down and made it happen there.
Yeah, cool. So you wrote Dead Cow Gully on the calendar, and then everything just started falling into place.
Yeah, honestly, so if you set a time to things, like I feel like we've experienced that. If you put a time limit on things, like you need to get something done by then, it
happens.
Gives you a superpower.
Yeah, your direction, your energy, is point towards locking it all down. And we honestly locked the job down. I think it was like 21 days before Dead Cow. So like got confirmation, and then it's like, all right, now we need to drive to Queensland and go shoot a doco, which was awesome. Like the experience of being up at Dead Cow was amazing.
Yeah. So I mean, the race started on Saturday, and I understand you guys were really well prepared. You got there like on the Tuesday, didn't you, to get everything?
Yeah, man. Yeah, and so did you. You got there so early. We saw you like 2 days before.
I got there on Thursday, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
still,
we rocked up Tuesday night, and that was sort of in discussion with Tim, knowing that he basically organizes that event by himself. So as the later it got, the less time he would have to sort of show us around the course and give us the crash course of everything. So we were keen to just get up there early so that we could give him as much time. And also I think it was really good for us to sort of set up our system, build our home base, because we were also doing, as well as filming the doco, posting live updates throughout the race on Harvey's channel. So we just needed like a really solid setup in the home, which Tim so kindly provided us with.
Yeah. And did you go into the race with a story in mind before the race started, or did you go into it just with the plan to capture as much footage as you could and then put it together and create the story later?
Yeah, I mean, we did. I mean, the nature of a backyard event means that you can't really have a story, and that's where the fun of it is for us. Is like you couldn't pre-plan what happens at one of those events, but at point to point, it's pretty like things can change, but there's a finish line. Yeah. With a backyard, it could be anything, and especially with the field that was there, it was like anything could happen here. We just need to be ready. Yeah. So there is a mixture of that. Been needing to get as much footage as you can because you don't know. But from our experience at Sydney, we realized that getting as much footage as you can at an event that goes for like potentially 6 days is not a good idea because that is so much footage. So we really challenge ourselves to only get what we needed. So we did have some sort of a plan of the mindset. We wanted to showcase that mindset of a mile story. So what moments throughout the race could we find with Harvey that, showcase that message? And I guess that we minimized the amount of footage we shot by just communicating. We worked in a shift structure, which we could get into, but in between shifts, we would sort of communicate, okay, what happened over that time? Did he have any moments of him connecting with people or showing a mindset of connection with the other athletes? And we would then sort of almost piece the story together as the race went on. So there was that aspect to it, but you can never fully form it until you're in the edit process.
And for like reference, at Sydney, we filmed 65 hours of footage. And that was an 81-hour race. And then at Dead Cow, we filmed just over 21 or 22 hours of footage, which was 119 hours. So yeah, there's, 21 hours is a lot of footage, but we didn't need more than that for the story we were telling. And because it is focused around Harvey, not the event, it did make it a lot easier kind of to reduce the amount of footage we were capturing.
Yeah. Okay. And how did you mentioned you worked in shifts. How did you manage the time and work?
The way from the Sydney experience, we realized that you need to capture every hour. Obviously you can't miss. I think that's important to diagnose is you can't miss any hours of the race. So we pretty much worked in we both covered a 12-hour block each, but then with a little bit of crossover. So we had about a 13 to 14-hour shift each, which kind of changed as we went on. But Josh was sort of on the 4 a.m. until 4 p.m. Yeah. And then it would go a little bit over so we could cross over. And then I would be 4 p.m. till 4 a.m. So the overnight shift. Yeah. And it's with the idea of developing a routine. Yeah. You can develop a routine on laps, and being at a backyard, there is a routine because they come in every hour. So you can sort of just set up this when's the next hour? What am I getting in this hour? It really helps you get through those shifts. Yeah. But without that shift structure, it'd just be chaos.
Yeah. And I think it's important to highlight as well that the reason we believe you need someone out there at all times is because say, Harvey at 3 a.m., he twists an ankle and we're both asleep. Someone comes to wake us up. That's already, by the time we're out there with the cameras rolling, that's 15, 20 minutes that moment has passed. And those moments are critical to the story. So for us, you just need someone out there with the camera at all times, just in case something happens, just in case he finishes. If it's going for the long haul, you have to have these routines. And Kyle's definitely more of a night owl than I am. So that's why he does the overnights. But I don't think it would work if you just sort of swapped every day or something.
Or some people do crewing where it's I'll get off and have a few hours sleep here and you'll come back and it's ambiguous. If that was the case, we'd be all over the shop. Yeah. We have systems dialed. How mentally destroyed you get at these events, especially, you know, multiple days in. We have systems for dumping our footage so that we don't mess up and lose anything. Like everything is to the T written out. And it's just programming your mind to just
automate as much as you can.
So just avoid error when inevitably you're going to be a shell of yourself at some point.
So they were pretty long shifts. Like, so when you were off shift, did you just sleep the whole time? Were you editing stuff? Were you watching the race? Or what were you doing?
It varied for our shift. So because I was on the like more daytime, at the end of my shift, I would come in and I was editing up like photos and video to post on Harvey's account of that day. And then I was typically getting to sleep anywhere from like 8 to towards the end. I was going to bed at like 11 or so. And then waking up at 3 a.m. And then for Kyle, because he's trying to sleep in the day, he would get up at 10, 11?
Yeah, so it would be like I'd wrap up at 4 and then I'd just rush to try and have a shower, just like get to bed before the sun comes up. Because I'm obviously very wired, especially in the first few shifts. You're still wired, you're thinking. So I was like, get to bed before the sun comes up, and I'd get a couple of like 4 or 5 hours of sleep, 10, 11 o'clock. And we would just rock like that. But you really just get more and more fatigued as it goes on. And as it gets further to the higher end of yards, there's more chance that it's going to finish. So there's this anxiety that you have of like, well, I'm going to need to go wake the other person up. And I know we experienced that at the back end with Harvey, because there was times where I was like, shit, is he going to get through this night? And then we'd have a conversation about what I would do to wake Josh up.
And I think these are the little things where you need to be prepared for as a filmmaker. You have to think about all bases, because as you know, there's no reception out on the course. It's only like the Wi-Fi in the house. So he wasn't going to be able to just call me and say, hey man, wake up, Harvey's done. So I need to have like my camera built. We had to discuss what the plan was going to be, because there could have been a world where Harvey finished and it didn't make sense for him to come and get me. He just, say Harvey finished in the tent, which would never happen. He would always finish on course. But say he did, it would make more sense for Kyle to just start filming in the tent and I stay asleep, than him come and get me and miss all those moments. So I think you really need to think about any and every scenario if you want to be able to capture all the moments.
I hate more planning would go into this than I actually thought. So like, I don't know much about cameras and gear and stuff like that, but I reckon there'll be some listeners that are into that kind of stuff. So what gear do you use?
So camera wise, we both shoot on Sony FX3s. And lens wise, we mostly stuck to the 16 to 35s.
So it's having a wider lens. So, it's similar to if you've got an iPhone, or I know other phones have it where you hit 0.5. So it just gives you a wider view. I think with this sort of storytelling, yes, the visuals are amazing to have, but the way we like to tell stories and make films is sometimes the shots aren't the prettiest, but that doesn't matter, because the story is what matters, if that makes sense. It's the raw moments that matter. So having that wide lens allows you to get as much as you can in frame in those moments that just happen right in front of you.
And what's also important to highlight is the way these events are, you're not going to be able to like put a microphone on Harvey because he's changing clothes, every second lap. And as a runner, you don't want to have to worry about that. So we're rolling with sort of shotgun mics, and for those to capture that audio well, you want to be up close to your subject. So filming on a wider lens means you need to be up close to your subject, which means you're getting good audio.
Which is a very underrated thing, because I think people would maybe watch our film or watch any film similar to this that other people have done, and you aren't consciously thinking of the audio. But in a situation like that, it's like you have to be quite conscious of getting good audio. So it's definitely very valuable to be able to have a mic that can just capture everything.
And then in terms of other equipment, like using 24 to 70 mil lenses, so a bit more sort of versatile, and then a longer 70 to 200 to get some of those longer, nice looking shots.
And obviously out there on Tim's farm, the drone shots look incredible. So ensuring that we had a lot of drone footage, and Josh was mainly at the helm of that because he was obviously in the daytime. So Josh was always on the drone.
And then I think the other really important piece of equipment was the gimbal, because we were on the quad bike so much. Being able to film nice, stable footage on the quad bike, you just absolutely need a gimbal. Without it, you have no chance, because that thing is
for the clean shots.
Yeah,
otherwise it's like that.
So that was mostly the setup. We did drive up though, so we brought out all our lights, which you can see in the cupboard behind us, for the interviews and other bits of production that we were capturing. But the day-to-day stuff was just sort of this little doco rig we have built out.
And then just power, honestly, like as much power as we could. We have storage is obviously a thing, because you're filming, every hour all the time. There's a lot of footage.
Terabytes of footage. So you want to be able to back it all up. So
we are very much backup people. We ensure that we always have backups. You never want something silly to happen. So there's that. We in the past, we've used with James Blanton in particular, we used a action camera, similar to a GoPro. But we didn't really use that much with Harvey because he's so focused all the time. Yeah. And he doesn't really have the time
capacity to take it.
And
he took it out on one lap, but every other lap we'd ask him and he just always said no, which again, respect to him.
Makes sense.
That's why he runs 92 yards. Because he's elite.
So, you guys would have seen the doco that Tim was telling you about, Breaking Point, which is awesome.
So good.
When you saw that and you were going out there to make your own Dead Cow Gully doco, were you thinking, were you conscious of making it different to Breaking Point? Like you didn't want something, just another Breaking Point. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I think what's cool is because we were working with the sponsor 2XU, and also just with one athlete, Harvey, inevitably it was going to be different because we're not telling the story of this event. We're telling a story, but the event is a part of it, if that makes sense. So we inevitably knew it wouldn't be the same, which was good, because having that over your head would be something you need to think about. But it is definitely a very different story in the end. But we love that. That was an awesome piece. It was a great reference.
And I think it really does speak to Tim's sort of ambition, because as we got to know Tim on the I don't even know what he calls it, the plaque that has all the previous winners and how far they'd gone. He didn't have any crazy high numbers until the 102. And for Tim's side, he didn't have this evidence that, he would have runners go really far. And then he invests in this doco. And when he invests in it is the year they get the world record, 102 yards.
Full credit to Tim.
So massive credit to Tim and his ambition and his risk taking. I think to grow anything in business, you really need to be able to take risks. And that was something that really paid off for Tim. And that's an amazing, amazing film that was made.
Yeah, cool. Now, as far as you did mention all the camera and microphone and stuff, what about editing? What do you use to edit all your stuff?
DaVinci Resolve is a program we use to video edit, which is awesome. I think it's important, especially we really love the color correction on DaVinci. It's such a great platform to do color grading. And we're by no means master colorists, but we're kind of jack of all trades type people. But it really can bring out the beauty in a place like the Dead Cow Gully event. But we go through that, and we just have systems where we can it's called cloud editing. So we can be on the same project on two different computers and be doing two different things. And now thinking about it, it's actually something we probably take for granted. It's the best thing ever. So we can have two guys edit, us two, doing two different things at once, and you're just crushing things
on the same project. Whereas the old software we used, Premiere Pro, that was not a feature at that time.
Yes. So that's really good.
Yeah, awesome. So just say someone wants to make a little doco themselves at a race, but on an absolute shoestring budget. What's the minimum gear someone would need? Would a phone be enough?
You could. A camera, you can do anything with a camera, as long as you can capture video and audio to some extent. I think you can make anything.
I think if you're investing in anything, it's got to be audio.
Yeah.
It's something we've learned. Like, you could look at a subpar visual, but if the audio is good, people will keep watching. But if you look at an awesome video, but the audio sucks, you just you can't bear it. You just move on, you know?
But yeah, I think, you know, even like something like this we have here, like an old Sony Handycam, like this thing's vintage, but with this you could make something amazing. I think it's how creative can you get, and I think people can always be in this mindset of, when I get the next piece of gear, then I'll be able to make good films or tell a good story. But you shouldn't depend on your gear. I think as a filmmaker, you want to be able to create films with any piece of equipment.
You're an author, really. You become an author. You're trying to tell a story. It happens to be that a film is the medium in which you're doing that. Yeah. So I think, the gear helps, of course, but we could have told a story like this with way less gear.
Yeah.
You know?
But I would encourage anyone who wants to go and make a film and maybe doesn't have the camera, pull out your phone and go and shoot something. Especially at an event like that, the biggest investment is your time and your energy. You know, you have to be there for the whole event. You have to capture as many moments as you can. So I would say that is the biggest investment that you'd be making, is how much time you're putting into it.
And think about this: there's a world where someone could take a phone around, like at that Dead Cow Gully event, and just film for 5 days and go through and do interviews with like a bunch of different crew people, and just string it together in a way that like tells the story of the people of Dead Cow Gully. You could do that with a phone so easily, but it would be something I'd be so interested in watching, because the story is rich. It's not the like, you can have epic visuals, but what is the heart? What is the thing that pulls it together? I would love for someone to do something like that.
Yeah, I think it's cool. And I think people also forget, like, you know, for me, if I want the best visuals, I'm going to go watch like a Hollywood film, because I know they've got millions of billions of dollars of budget to make the coolest things. I'm not expecting someone on a phone to give me the best visuals.
No.
If I'm watching something on a phone, it's because I want to see the story in it.
Yeah, cool. So you mentioned the dirt bike. Did you, like, when did the idea of using the dirt bike come about, and had you ever ridden a dirt bike before?
The idea came about instantly. So when we reached out to Tim and he was like, yeah, you could film here, we had this big list of questions, like accessibility to the course, because we knew it was a 6.7K full loop, unlike Sydney that sort of crosses over on itself. So Sydney, you can walk 500 meters and be across the whole course, whereas at Dead Cow, to get out to the midpoint, you have to walk, 3K.
Yeah.
So instantly it was like, is there something we can use, like car, quad bike, something? And then, he was like, we've got a quad. So that was great. And for me, I used to own a dirt bike. So I've ridden motorbikes for the past like 6-7 years.
Yeah,
so
I've been on a bunch of ATVs as well, just like for fun.
So we were super comfortable and confident on it. It was more the filming. How were we going to go filming on it? Because that's something I'd never done before.
Especially if you're by yourself. It's like if there's two of you, that's obviously a lot easier. One person can just film.
Yeah.
But if you're by yourself, how can you do both?
Yeah. And you actually collected some runners off the course when they dropped, right?
Yeah, so I remember, I think we did James,
Mitchie, and Merrin. And Harvey.
Oh, and Harvey. Yeah. Merrin that was so funny because, well, not funny, but it was Harvey was just half a human, and we were going out.
He'd already finished.
We were going out to check out the night course because I spent a lot of laps out there with him, like running the bit that's like you cut off on the gully to the night course.
Bandicoot Lane.
Yeah, that's it. Bandicoot Lane.
Right.
And he was saying to us, like, man, he's like, there's some crazy hills out there. And we were saying, like, dude, it's flat. Like, so he was like so interested to go check it out. And we were talking about all the bumps and stuff that were created. And we were heading out there, and Merrin's was just on the course.
Just walking back.
Right.
Walking back, sorry. And we just pulled up, and it was cool to see him and Harvey interact. And then we took him back in, but we ended up picking up a few people.
Yeah, and I think the quad is just so handy. You can jump on it, go and get someone. Whereas the only other person who was collecting people was Tim, and he might have been asleep or something. So it actually worked out really well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So going into the race, what were you expecting that that they were going to go into the hundreds and the world record could possibly be broken?
Yeah. I think just knowing the field and again having talked to Tim, he wanted that world record, and I think he was quite intentional with bringing out certain athletes to try and get there. And we were just pretty convinced they were going to get the world record.
Yeah. We talked to Sam Harvey a little bit at Sydney's Backyard Ultra because one of his athletes, Kendall, was out there, and he was saying to us like a crazy number. So we had that number in our head.
Yeah.
And we were just like, okay, well, we need to consider this is the intent. So it would be silly for us not to consider that crazy number as a possibility.
And I think, I guess we kind of take a page from Phil, where in Phil's race plan, he'll always plan further than it's ever going to go. And I think we do that with the filming as well. Like we plan further than it would go. So we have enough food. Mentally, we're prepared to go, 8-9 days of filming. Yeah. So we're always trying to plan further than it's going to go.
Yeah, cool. So you were following Harvey Lewis's journey over the race, but were there any other runners that you followed a bit with the camera just because their race was like some really exciting stuff?
I mean, like once you've got two goats like Phil and Sam going at it, of course you've got to. And it's just a crazy thing to be out there seeing those guys doing that work. Like we were incredibly grateful to be able to watch them do that. And sometimes we had the camera in their face and they were really kind to not lose it at us, which was nice.
Yeah. And I think it was a bit of a mix for us initially. Like we're obviously there being paid to film Harvey. So that was always the number one priority. And I think once Harvey had dropped out, we were like, all right, well, they're looking pretty good to get the world record here. No one else is here capturing this. I think it would be really cool for us to, go and capture this, even though it doesn't influence the story that we're telling with Harvey, just to have the footage. So I think we're both pretty grateful and in reflection, happy that we made the decision to film.
Yes, because we were hammered. And once Harvey's done, so was everyone who's there. But once Harvey's done, there's a part of you that switches off. So you had to unconsciously be like, okay, well, we're going to sleep for 2 hours now because we spent the whole day with Harvey once he's done. Sleep for 2 hours and get up and, go and witness these guys get the record and all that stuff. Like, how could you not? And it's easy when someone like Harvey's he's done his 92 yards or whatever. Yeah, 92 yards. And he's like, all right, guys, let's get up and let's go to sleep, get up in 2 hours and go watch it. And I'm like, how can I say that I'm going to sleep in if this guy's done what he's done and he's keen to get up? So, it was, when you're there, man, you just got to appreciate it. I'm sure you're in the same boat, but it's just like so many people would die to be there to see something like that happen. It's like, you've got to just soak it up as much as you can.
And what I love about it is it's unlike any event where you really have to kind of earn the viewing. It's not like the 100-meter sprint. You sit down and watch a world record. It's like you got to be in it for the long haul. Stay there for 5 days. Get up at 2 a.m. to watch the world record.
And what's so cool, and I'd be interested to know what you think of this, but this is one of the craziest athletic achievements ever when you think about it. And there's 20 people just going when they go over the line, and it's there should be a stadium of people cheering these guys on, but there's just 20. It's so humbling and so just indicative of what a backyard is. It's so humbling.
But I love the intimacy of it. I love how over the 5 days you form this connection with people. You're in the kitchen making noodles and someone comes in to have a couple hours of sleep and you know what they're going through. They know what you're going through. So at the end of it, it really feels like just one community helping these guys get as far as they can.
Yeah. So some of the footage I've seen on Instagram, I mean, it looks so good. So what does it feel like to be filming something, and as you're filming it, you're just thinking, "Oh man, this is an awesome shot."
Oh, yeah.
It is. It's exactly like how you said
You
it.
think it would be.
It feels so good.
It's so. I feel so blessed to be able to share it with Josh as well, because I could never do that job without another person. I could never do that by myself. And just to be able to be like, check this out.
Yeah.
Showing the other person, and they're like, "Oh, that is gonna look sick."
And like you see it in the edit as well, because you'll be going through the edit and you'll see the gimbal shot, and then I'll say like, "Oh, that's butter." Like that's fire.
That's buttery. That's
in the moment as I'm filming it, I get the shot and I'll say it aloud and just share that with myself, and it's cool because you get to relive that in the edit, and the edit is so funny because you're reliving the experience, and there's so many laughs and so many just stupid things that happen over those days.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's cool though, because part of it is from a technical standpoint, we shoot in like a flat color profile, so you can color your footage later. So you don't actually get to see it right until the end, because we don't color any of our footage until we've got the edit that we're going to roll with. So, and it's, I don't know how many hours it took us to edit this.
Too many.
A lot.
Yeah.
Days worth of time. But essentially, like, you get that satisfaction of seeing the beautiful colors at the end, which is so cool, because it really feels like you earn the visuals.
And you also get the flip side though, where some shots you think it's going to be good, and then when you're in the edit, it's like, oh, this is horrible. Like, it's out of focus, it's shaky. I've bumped a camera setting, and there's a lot of noise or something in it. So yeah, you also do get that flip side where you think something's great until you put it in the edit and it's horrible.
Right. Yeah. So when did you finish editing it? Like, when was it finished?
It was like, what are we now? September. It was like mid-August.
Right. So not that long ago.
Yeah, it was sort of like the first week, mid-August. We kind of
First week. It's been a while.
Yeah. Like we had like delivered everything to the client, and then just sort of went through a couple rounds of revisions. Yeah. And then I think also when you're dealing with a bigger company, feedback can just take a bit longer.
It's not a bad thing.
To move up the chain.
Yeah, it's just time. Really, it just takes a longer amount of time.
So
it actually is 100% finished now, right?
Yes.
99%.
Yeah, no, it's we're just waiting for like final confirmation. But then in terms of releasing, it's sort of on them, because it's their product, they own it. Sure. So they'll distribute it sort of when they want, which we're not too sure when that is. We think it will be soon.
Hopefully it's before Bigs.
Yes.
I think I would say it's definitely before Bigs.
Yeah, I would say probably within the next few weeks.
But we don't want to say it's definitely that though, because we don't know. Again, it's in their hands. So it'll be distributed through them, and I believe Harvey's channels as well.
So was the Mindset Over Miles, is that the name of the doco, or is that your like working title?
No, that's the name.
Both, I guess.
Yeah.
It ended up being that.
Which funnily enough didn't come from I think it's Daryl.
Daryl
Thomas.
Daryl. So his t-shirt is like Mind Over Miles.
Which
we actually, in all honesty, did not know until after we'd named the film.
Right.
Because he commented on a post or a trailer saying like, "Oh, nice name," and that's what we saw. But yeah, so we didn't steal the name from him.
Yes.
It was just the story that we wanted to tell was like how it's not about the miles you run, it's about the mindset you attack it with. And I think Mindset Over Miles is just such a great fit for that name.
I was just looking for the tagline, but you remembered it.
Yeah. And so can you tell me how long it's going to be?
Yeah, so it's being released in a docu-series format on Instagram. So it's a 3-part series, roughly 2.5 to 3 minutes each. But then we have stitched those 3 episodes into one, which will be released on YouTube. And it's only like 8.5 minutes or something.
Which is just, we don't know how we got it down to 8 minutes. Yeah. But it's happened.
Telling a 92-hour story in 8 minutes is definitely a challenge.
But it's also more than 92, because a lot of it is there's post his finish. So it's a real punchy one. but very valuable.
Yeah, I think like I would say it's appeals more to a general audience as opposed to hardcore backyard ultra fans. I think hardcores will still appreciate it and get something out of it, but I think the story is probably for a broader audience.
Considering the client being 2 times you, and their main like audience and target market isn't just backyard ultra runners, so it kind of is introduced, and I think it's a really cool opportunity to introduce this backyard format to the Gen Pop. Obviously, it's becoming a lot more popular in the running space, I guess, backyard. But man, I have a really, this is sort of off topic, but I have a really insane example of how epic and captivating the backyard event is. So when we were at Sydney, like Alex and the 180 guys do a really fantastic job of live streaming the event. They do a really good job of being able to follow along. And my partner, she at the time is working for a company, just a media company in a HR department. So office, corporate. She works with all women, and they're all like 40 plus, I think, apart from another one. So they're all of an older demographic. My partner's obviously super invested in it because it's what I'm doing. And she was telling everyone about it at work on like day 2, I think. And this is when Phil ran, I think it was 81. And essentially the live stream started getting a lot more traction. She at work, they had one of their screens at work in a HR department with like 40 plus year old women. They were all watching this backyard event. They knew all the top guys' names and they were following along every hour. They would head to one monitor and just check in on the race. Like, and they always ask her, when's the next one happening? When's Phil running again? Like it's so captivating, these events. And I don't remember what you initially asked me,
but it's you were just like highlighting the broader.
Yeah. About how captivating they are.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Introducing it to the Gen Pop. That's what we were talking about. I think it's a good, this film, I think is a nice way for people who don't really understand what a backyard is to get sort of an idea of it, and what it could potentially be, and maybe open them up to checking out a doco like Breaking Point, which is a lot more of a deeper dive into sort of what it is.
Because I also think for us, just over the past year, I think we've grown quite fond of the event and the athletes in it, especially the Aussie guys, having been around them now for a few races. And we would love to see the sport grow to a point where the best athletes in the world are treated like the best athletes in other organizations, in other sports, where, you know, there's lots of sponsorship money for them, lots of opportunities. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned or aware, like every backyard ultra athlete has a full-time job.
Yeah.
But like we would love to see the sport grow to a point where, you know, these guys don't have to work and they can just train for these events and have sponsorship and brand deals coming in. Yeah. Because like the feat that they're doing is so insane. It is so incredibly unbelievable how far these guys and women run. And we would love to see the sport grow. So hopefully through films we make in the space that can help.
Yeah, awesome. Can each of you describe in as much detail as possible one of your favorite moments, like either in the race or in the film?
Yeah.
There's
to think about this.
I mean, if I could sit here and think of a bunch, I don't know how I'm even going to be able to filter, but the way I can sort of answer that question is I love the moments we have in the film. And once people see it, we're trying to really pick certain points in the race where Harvey in particular being the personification of this mindset sort of narrative, he would have certain moments where he would just take the lead. There was a lot of talk about a Harvey bus. Other people were sort of creating this like bus, and Harvey would come in and just like become the leader. Yeah. And just carry people through, and like all these metaphors of like, oh yeah, I'll see you at the next bus stop. There was the Crow. Shout out the Crow, absolute legend.
He gave us this banger line.
We owe him. Like there's an awesome line where he says, "We're on route 6.71." Right. That's the bus, and it's like it's the perfect line because it's just he does so good. Yeah. So at moments like that, I remember because I was in the night, so I really got to see that like sort of animal come out of him, which was just I was in awe. I remember one moment I was running with him, Jen Russo, and James Blanton, and like none of us were saying anything. It was only Harvey. It was just Harvey out there just leading, and he's like 40 into the 50-yard point at this point, and he was telling me to watch out for these potholes, and I'm like, dude, like, I'm okay. You focus on you've run 50 yards. It was just this, like, he's so switched on, and it was awesome to see him be a leader. There was moments where he'd lost his voice, and he would have a group of people, and he would just click, and people would start walking, and then he would click again, and everyone would start running, and it would be no words for like 2 kilometers.
Yeah.
Moments like that, really, I got to selfishly soak up what I was doing. So that was really, really cool.
I'd say for me, and there's a BTS video coming out on our YouTube channel, Lumina Productions. There's a moment we've put in it where Harvey's finished. We're in Sam Harvey's tent because they had that huge gas burner, so he's just getting nice and warm.
Yeah.
And everyone had like left the tent at this point, and it's just like Kyle, myself, and Harvey, and we're eating like jet planes, which are these like New Zealand lollies that Sam's mum had. And like Kyle like puts a couple of jet planes on Harvey's chest. He's just like laying down in this bathrobe.
So we just grabbed them and like,
and it was this moment where Harvey's done, filming is kind of done now, and I was like, dude, we are in a tent eating jet planes with Harvey Lewis. Like, it was the first kind of moment that I was like, wow, we've just filmed one of like the greatest athletes ever in this space, and he's right here in front of us, and we're just eating lollies with him. Like, it was, for me, it was such a beautiful moment to share with you, to share with Harvey, which I doubt he remembers.
Right.
But yeah, there's so many moments across the time, just the nature of the event. It's incredible. But just getting to form a relationship as well with Harvey and Kelly. We love Kelly so much. I love Kelly, Harvey's wife, for context. She is so awesome. And to witness their relationship pushing each other through, she'd never crewed a backyard event before. Kelly is a very accomplished runner. She's done Badwater a few times. I think completed Badwater. Yeah. I know at least once, but I'm not sure if it's more than once. But she's an absolute beast in her own right. And just to watch her crew Harvey was so special. And we just had so much time together. And she has such a good outlook on things. So that was really special. Yeah. And I would say, like, out of the filming, I think for us at the end of our shifts, we had these like crossover periods, and we've not been with each other for 12 plus hours. You've just been by yourself filming, and then you remember on the crossover, like you're in this together, you're working on this bigger project. So good. And like those moments were the best for me. There were a couple of times where we'd hit up like the Twisted Whisk, which is one of the best bakeries in Nanango, right? And just like have a pie or a cake or something and just sit down for an hour. Yeah. And like appreciate the landscape we're in and just, riff raff and chat some shit. One other thing I would say as well from our point of view, we obviously got really close with James Blanton, Ryan, Shannon, Kitty, Glenn, Simon, them and their team. So we were so excited to see them again at Dead Cow because it had been a number of months since April. And just to be able to reconnect with those guys, but this time already knowing them, not having met them and create the relationship. We had the relationship. So, man, I laughed so hard, just with those guys. They're so much fun. They're just the best crew. Did get done dirty though. So Glenn, one of James's crew, he made these chili sausage rolls. And they had their caravan there. And when they were leaving, he gave us like a whole bag of them. And I was so incredibly keen to dig into these. So we put them in the fridge and we come inside, filming's finished. And I'm like, dude, sausage rolls. Like he'd almost forgotten about them. And I was like, prompted that. Go into the fridge to find them not there. I'm like, oh, that's weird. Where'd they go? Was there not a few crumbs in there? And then I look on the bench and there's the bag of them, completely empty, just the remaining crumbs. Right. So some runner or someone stole those sausage rolls, and not going to say who it was. I do know who it was. But, we won't name drop. Yeah, but I was very disappointed. We weren't happy, and we didn't at that point. We didn't care how many yards you'd run. Yeah, it didn't matter. They were our sausage rolls. Yeah, so, we got a phone to pick that person. Yeah. So when you're right, I mean, there were definitely times during the race that
where I think it was probably a mixture of having so little sleep, and also just some moments were just so incredible. Like I felt myself like almost like starting to cry. Like, did you guys have anything like that happen? Like where you actually physically cried?
It's interesting you say that. I find personally for me, and I won't speak for you, but when you're filming or when I'm filming, I'm very emotionally disconnected from the moment because I'm so focused on the technical aspect of capturing the moment well, like camera settings, audio, etc. So I do find it very hard to be emotionally present in those moments. But there were two moments that did exceed that for me, and it was oddly enough both with Sam Harvey. It was when he broke the New Zealand record and his wife was there and they embraced in that hug, and there's that clip I filmed of him running in and hugging her. That for me was just such an emotional moment because I like, oh man, the way he grabbed his wife and the way she embraced him and his father was crying, it was so beautiful. And then the second one was when Sam set off, I think it was like it was 118 or it was the start of 119 when he finished. Seeing the grit and just, he rallied every single cell in his body. Like he's fighting against everything. And he somehow managed to get himself up on that start line and to go one more. And seeing his wife holding back this love, all she wants is for him to be okay. And you can see she doesn't want him to run, but she wants to support him in his dreams. And seeing her like put on that face and push him out there was like, oh my gosh, that was for me like a moment again where the emotional moment was so high that it kind of just exceeded the filming.
And that's what that is, and this is why I think we're so in love with these sort of races, is that's the human spirit thing we're talking about. That's two people in different ways sacrificing everything for something they desire, something they want. And we, if we can, want to do the best. We want to do our best to get everyone to at least experience that once, like sacrifice yourself for something greater than you. And Sam obviously is doing that, but so is his wife, so is his parents. You can see them just struggling. And even I remember his mum was telling people like, oh, should we go? Like people like, do we go? Like seemingly he's done. She's like, no, like let him turn around. Let him turn around. Let him go to the ground. Like let him do it. Because she knows how much that means to him.
While she's holding back tears.
Because she's
a mother. She cares for her son, and here he is 100 meters down the track, barely standing up. You're just waiting for him to collapse.
Yeah.
So like
I would, and for me, what broke me in that race, I'm probably only one moment because I'm very similar to Josh. Like when you're filming and it's a high stress moment, you are very focused, trying to make sure you get everything you need. But when we were in Sam's tent and there's an awesome photo Josh took of him and his wife, and that moment filming that, like that was, I don't even know how to describe it, but it transcended running. It's two people embracing after such a massive effort. And I think anyone who has a partner or is in a relationship can look at that and just be like, that's what it's all about. It's just helping the other person get to the best version of themselves. And that's what she was trying to do with him. And you could see how grateful he was without even saying anything to her. That was just like, yeah. How about you? Did you have any moments where you cried?
Oh yeah, when Jashi broke 100.
Oh, I wish I saw that. I didn't see it break the 100, but that would have been incredible to watch.
Oh yeah, it was something else. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. Are you close with Jashi?
I know him through. Look, he's been on the podcast twice, and so like through the podcast and stuff like that. Yeah, we know each other. Yeah, he's a great guy. Like he's such an interesting person to talk to. He's like really analytical in the way he approaches backyard ultras, and he it's kind of like it's almost like a science experiment to him, and his body is what
a vessel.
Yeah. So and he like makes little adjustments to his like tactics and tries new things just to figure out how he can go further that way.
Wow.
What is it that brought you to the backyard ultra space?
Just as a runner, really. So I ran my first backyard ultra in 22, and I liked it. and then I ran another one later that year, and I looked for a Backyard Ultra podcast because I wanted to learn about the format and I wanted to get better at it, and there wasn't such thing. So I thought, and then I thought, oh, maybe I should start one, and that's what I did. Yeah,
Man, that's so great. I think to your point, like there's so much strategy involved with this event, and it is something where like there should be a platform where you can listen to the best backyarders in the world and gain insight. And I know one of the guys at Sydney, Max Page, I think he ran 24 or 25 yards for his first backyard ultra. Yeah. And he was like just obsessed with the research. I think he like has listened to every episode of your pod, listening to Phil and Ryan and just getting insight as to how these guys go about it. And I mean, it worked. You know, he ran 25 for his first one, which is
and he wasn't even much of a runner, to my understanding, before that. He actually only had just started really running in the last 6 months, and he just stuck to it and became obsessed. But yeah, it's awesome that you are creating this platform for people to come and like use as a resource, I think, and also to showcase similar to the angle we're coming at in terms of trying to, what can we do to, allow these athletes to have better opportunities to, I don't know, get paid and have sort of their lifestyle be a little bit more around their sport, and so they have to slog out a full-time job and then also have this insane athletic pursuit as well. I think you showcasing people's personalities, like say even the Jashi thing you were saying, that is going to be an awesome way for people to reference, to be able to come back and see what these people are about.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking. Like, I really wanted a way for people who I really create a way for people to follow the sport.
Yes.
Because there used to not be any way of following like what's going on in the backyard ultra world other than watching a few Facebook posts of them starting each yard. But yeah, like hopefully I'm making it easier for people who can follow what's going on in the backyard ultra world, like get to learn the runners' personalities and all that type, and what races are coming up and what's been going on.
100%, man.
It's great, and especially because it's not what's institutionalized. It's all like different events. It's so open. Like anyone can have an event, and obviously there's structure to it, but it's from an outsider. Like I don't even understand the whole bigs thing until like the championships and the rankings and all that. I did not get that until speaking to James extensively about it, like getting a better understanding through him. It's not the easiest thing to understand unless there's some info on it. So that definitely it's awesome that you have this resource.
Do you remember when after the race finished, we bumped into each other the next morning, and it was like we just started laughing because
like what the fuck was that?
Because you have like, you're so invested in it. Before the event, all you're thinking about is the event. And then when you're in it, you're just in this routine of every hour, you're waiting for your shift to end, and you're just so invested. And then all of a sudden it's just like click and it's over. And then you're like, what the hell are we doing here? We're in the middle of Queensland. We've just been here. Like, I just met you 5 days. I know nothing. We have had 2 conversations. And we've just lived the same life for the past 5 days. This guy's farming in Queensland.
It was so funny. I just remember seeing you. Whoopsies. I just remember seeing you and thinking like, oh, Pado's still awake. I'm like, I haven't seen this guy sleep once. And it's crazy you did that by yourself. And the setup was so cool. Like everyone, and I also love I think I messaged you about it, that on your YouTube, you have like each yard in blocks of like 9 or 10 yards. I'm like, that's a crazy resource.
Yeah.
And I feel like people don't appreciate what you do enough. I don't know if you feel that, but I feel like it needs to go said that like the setup, the live stream, everything you organized and put together was just like, man, props to you, because I could not have done that by myself. And you really slogged that out.
It's next level. It was full next level for one person as well to do that. It was impressive. And it's cool. Like people were helping out, but like you're the mastermind behind that.
Yeah, it was pretty hardcore, but I had the best time. I absolutely loved it. Towards the end though, I was like hallucinating so bad. Like my my memories of being there. Like my memories are telling me I was in a house doing the live stream, but I know I was in the barn. But there's another memory I've got. Like I remember I was in a phone box doing the live stream, but I wasn't in a phone box.
That's that's a story right there. Film Pato in a backyard.
Yeah, I needs to do a BTS on your experience,
because that would be crazy. I'd be so interested to watch that.
Honestly, as someone who is like, we're doing a similar thing, you know, but yours is like consistently ongoing, and it's just you. That's a massive difference.
Yeah, I wonder, were there any comments like on the live stream as days go on that you start talking a bit of nonsense, like things just make sense?
Yeah, like people were like commenting on the live stream, "Oh, Pato, you need to go to sleep. You need to."
Yeah, that's so good.
That's a form of entertainment in itself.
Yeah,
that is just hilarious. Yeah.
So, when it all finished, like, did you get home and start editing straight away, or did you need some time to decompress?
Oh,
mate, the journey home was insane. No one will ever see it.
Yeah, no.
But there was just like
some silly things happened.
Yeah, like you know how intense like that last bit was. But we left on that day. We were gonna go potentially stay somewhere on the way home, but we were like, let's just ping it home because we live in Sydney.
Yeah, you can do the math. So it's a 15-hour drive, and we were up at 2 a.m. and didn't
get any like 2 hours of sleep before getting up at 2 a.m.
And then I got home at 4:30 a.m.
So it was like a 26-hour day, and that's including filming, then finishing. And then we were back home. It was it was
wild. A lot of caffeine consumed on that drive home. But yeah, when we got back, we kind of unpacked everything. It was the weekend from memory. We got home on a Saturday morning. Saturday, Sunday, I think Monday as well. We were kind of just resting. And then Tuesday, we were just straight into the edit.
But yeah, we had to deliver a teaser for 2 Times You. So
that's right, we did that the day.
So the next day, we got home. I remember we got home on a Friday. We got home on a Friday morning.
Yes,
it was Friday at like 4 a.m. or something. Slept. Oh, did we do it on Saturday?
No. We did it on Saturday. Yeah. So we got home Friday at 4 a.m. Slept all Friday. Saturday, Kyle came up and we edited that teaser that we delivered to them. And then Sunday did nothing. Monday got into it.
Yes. That's right. But yeah, for us, it was just because the process in terms of editing for some more info is you don't get 20 hours of footage and make it 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's like you've got to actually run through that 20 hours once, and now it's 10 hours.
You put it through a sifter.
And so when you think 20 hours, it takes 20 hours to go through that. No, it takes way more because you go through 20, then you go through 10, then you go through 2. So that's already 32 hours of, we haven't even started making the story. That's just looking through footage. So yeah, we just knew what the task is ahead. So it's like, we just need to start cracking on with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of just give it a little bit of rest and try and get onto some sort of like recovery and get into it.
Yeah. And I think that's working in film, that's the best thing with deadlines is it forces you to get in it. Because if you don't have a deadline, you just think about the mass amount of work and hours that you need to get to the finished product. And it's an ultra in itself in that way. And if you don't have that deadline, I think it's very difficult to get yourself into the footage and get started in that process. So having those like tight deadlines really works for us.
Yeah, cool. And so what's next for you guys? Have you got are you going to make any more running docos or wait and see or?
Well, right now the goal is to get to Biggs.
Cool.
We would love to go to the original backyard, and we'd love to get there and capture something there. So currently we're behind the scenes.
In the pursuit of that. We don't know what it would look like. It could be so many different things. In terms of the story, we don't know what that would look like. Again, could be so many different things, but we just loved it. We know we have so many connections now with so many people. We know the sorts of stories we could tell. So, I mean, that's the goal for us. But other than that,
I think we're really quite involved with 180 Cadence. So over, every event, we'll just sort of look to build out the media for that and continue to grow that company through media and the work we do with them.
We really want to go hard at Sydney Backyard Ultra. That's coming up in
in
October?
September.
September.
September
Late
20th.
Yeah.
September 20th. So really looking forward to filming at Sydney's Backyard Ultra again.
Yeah.
And just, continuing to grow that. And that's sort of it right now for the running space.
Yeah. So when you say bigs, do you mean like go to bigs like next month?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that happening, or it's still?
No, we're in the works. So it's nothing's locked in, but this is kind of how we work. Believe it or not, the Dead Cow job only got confirmed like 21 days before the event.
Yeah.
So we kind of tend to work on these sort of later time schedules, but we have the belief that we can get there, and we'd love to capture it.
Yeah, awesome. So do you have your plane tickets or?
No, quite literally there is
nothing booked, planned.
Nothing is confirmed.
But movements are being made, if that makes sense. Like we're efforting, if you will, to
talking to people, talking to
the right people to try and because it's so many things need to align for it to work for us in our current position. There's a lot of things that need to happen nowadays, like to make it work.
So the cogs are in motion.
Yes.
And it's like they all have to be like a yes to then be like, okay, it's happening, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see.
So that hopefully that goes well. But we are, like we mentioned, putting together a piece that we filmed in April with James Blanton. So that's something that will be coming out, likely through just us and James, potentially.
Efforting to release that just after Sydney's Backyard Ultra
in September.
So the goal would be that is released on like the 24th or 25th of September. Right after the event, should be quite good awareness and hype of it all.
And that will be a lot more. We've nailed down the footage, but the story isn't fully fleshed out there. But that is a longer form piece, which is cool. So this one was obviously a lot shorter, but this is fully our piece. So I guess our creative control as to where it goes. And it's going to be awesome to highlight James Blanton because we love that guy.
Yeah,
he's such a legend. So it'd be cool to highlight him as much as possible.
Yeah, awesome. And that will be on your YouTube channel, or
yes,
that'll be on our YouTube,
which we have a little bit of our work on. But it's something we're looking to start building out a lot more and showing our own faces on it. And from that perspective, a little bit more. And once this Dead Cow doc drops on the 2XU channels, we will be releasing we have actually ready to go behind a 20-minute behind the scenes video of our experience at Dead Cow Gully, which is quite cool. So it goes into a little bit more into pretty much similar to what we've done here on the pod. It's just go a little bit deeper into what our experience was there. So that will be coming out soon as well.
Awesome. Yeah. So a lot of people, I mean, you kind of answered this question already, but I'll ask it anyway. So a lot of people will like take a camera with them to their backyard ultras and make a little doco, and they're all over YouTube. You would have seen them before. So keeping those types of people in mind, what would your 3 tips for those people be for making a documentary at their races be?
3 tips.
Number one is the story. To me, it's the storyline. There's so much potential story there. If you can just sit and do some creative ideation, get a whiteboard out, start writing out what are the things you appreciate the most about this event. What do you think what would you like to see more on? What's missing? And try and really nail down a story thread. Obviously, you can never, like we've mentioned, fully pick out what's going to happen. But you can have these themes of the story you want to tell with what you're doing.
I would say practically, I think get in contact with the race directors and try to get permission on the whole course. Great example being at Dead Cow, there was a Japanese film crew filming Michi and I forget the other 2 guys, but they didn't have access to a quad bike. So, all their filming basically took place at the tents, at the corral, and if they were bothered to walk out on course. And that is extremely limiting to what you're capturing. We're the only ones that are out, halfway on the course in the middle of the night, capturing what's going on out there. So I would say 100% build a relationship with the race directors, even if that means offering them content. Hey, I'll film this for free. I'll give you all this stuff. just so long as I can go out on course and capture things. That I think is a massive play. And then third one, for me, I would say building a relationship with the athlete, knowing exactly who you want to film, whether it's athlete or crew. Build the connection first. Everything we do at Lumina is connection first, and then the story comes later. Because if you don't have a good connection with the crew or the runner you're filming, you know, when they're 30, 40 hours into it and they're starting to hurt, if they don't like you, they're going to tell you to get out of their face, and you're not going to have anything to capture. Whereas if they have that rapport with you, then you're going to be able to be in the tent in their most vulnerable moments, camera in their face.
And you can't just expect that just because you start filming someone, they're going to give you everything you need. That's, to me, when people say, oh, he's just not the best on camera, he's not this, that, to me, that's just an excuse. Your job as the person who is doing the filmmaking is to create that connection. You are the bridge between the viewer and the athlete. So if you're going to hone anything in, don't worry about taking, buying a better camera or taking better videos. Do a better job at being able to cultivate storytelling in that aspect and connection with people. I think that is the most important skill. Technical skills are technical skills. You can learn to do 1 + 1, 2 + 2, but connecting with humans, that's a skill that takes, years to develop. And
yeah.
Awesome.
I think that would be it. Yeah,
cool. Well, I can't wait to see what you've made. It's going to be. I just want to. The footage I've seen so far, it looks so good. I just can't wait to see the finished product. And thanks for coming on for the chat.
No, thanks so much for your time, Pat. It was great to chat and great to relive some of the experiences.
Yeah, it's been cool to reminisce. It's actually been really nice because for us, so much of the experience is in the edit now. Yeah, but it's cool to remember, actually the production of it, when we were there. It was just so wild. I'll never forget it. So it's been really nice to chat to you, man.
Yeah, cool. Well, we'll definitely keep in touch, and we might see each other at another race soon.
I hope so.
Yeah, it'd be good. So. Maybe we'll film your experience.
Yeah, awesome. All right, I'll speak to you again soon.
Awesome.
Thanks, Pato. Appreciate it.